Dan here. Diddy's Speech. Oh, there's a piece of tape in here. I feel like we've just done this.
What's that Taylor Swift song?
Another shitty Camaro in the garage?
That must be it.
Is that what it is? So we moved the 68 into the other shop here because we had the lift over here and ultimately the compressor. And I think we're gonna have to kind of sand this thing and whatnot. So, and there's a pile of Camaro parts.
It looks like a real car though.
Looks like a car. I cleaned up in here a little bit.
Damn.
So we have a pile of parts there, like a ridiculous amount. So that's cool. I want to start putting those in. So the plan is, I was actually gonna, I forgot to, before I put it in here, I was gonna wash it all out with the hose. The trunk is all kind of gucky. So I like to spray all that out, get the junk out of it just cuz, and then we can, you know, coat it or do whatever. But more than likely, because I don't think we're doing anything back here, I can start putting the crap in the trunk of this thing or in the car, so it's just less clutter.
Treasures.
Treasures. The future owner treasures. And kind of go through it. It looks like it's partially, there's definitely a little bit not quite done there.
Well, this is just metal tied on.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it needs a little bit of love. The front windshield actually showed up today. I gotta go pick it up tomorrow. The back windshield is gonna be here. So that's cool, and it's actually not bad. It's pretty rust-free, so I can kind of wire wheel in there. And then the clips I have and stuff. Oh, we're missing the little side pieces, but we'll figure that one out. And I mean, inside is pretty nice. The carpet's supposed to be here tomorrow as well. So we're not gonna put that all in right away, but I think a couple of days of welding, we can get the quarters sectioned on there. I mean, the fenders and the doors, they're gonna be what they're gonna be. And I don't have hood hinges, unfortunately, so we can't put the nice hood on. So we just got this fiberglass cowl hood on for the time being. We can always put that one on, just set it on, but it's heavy. And then we have taillights and lenses and all sorts of stuff like that, miscellaneous wiring, the grill. I think there's headlight stuff, so we can kind of put it all together. And obviously it has this junk to me motor, but we can get that running. I think I got some sort of a universal radiator we can toss in it, some miscellaneous hoses, water pump, whatever we kind of need actually in the back of the tow truck. So we can kind of work on that and make it a runner. That's the plan. So this is the, what do we call it? Cheap flip? Quick flip Camaro?
Quick flip Camaro, but the honest quick flip Camaro.
The honest quick flip with honest Dan's used cars. So we'll do that. We got tubed that one tire, just so it kind of holds a little bit of air. And then honestly, it sits real high in the front end. I don't actually know why. I thought it would have dropped down with the suspension. Unless maybe the shocks are seized or something like that, but either way. We'll figure it out, we'll make it look cool. This thing actually has the wiring harness in it still, like a factory wiring harness. There's a key in the dash. I don't know, I assume it's the right one. It doesn't want to spin. We'll spray a little penetrating oil in there. Carpet, seats, side glass.
It's got all the stuff in it.
Yeah, no, it's got gauges, it's got all that. It actually, I mean...
It's not a bad car.
No, it'll be fine. Fine for someone else. So all I'm gonna do is, like I said, weld the quarters on. That's what we're gonna do today, or start to do today. Weld the quarters in, a little bit of filler up in the sail panel here. We'll just kind of lightly block that out. Obviously down here too. This is supposed to be a seam, but the guy had welded it, so we might just weld it and maybe just give it a grind or do something like that, or I don't know what exactly, and figure out how we're gonna, I think this is all, that's all just kind of sitting on there, so we gotta get that taken care of as well. But
that hurt my teeth.
Rusty metal shaking around? Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get it lined up in the lift here and up in the air. I might have to lift actually a little far back. We gotta drag it ahead maybe just a scotch. And yeah, see what this thing looks like underneath. I haven't been underneath it yet, so fingers crossed it's decent. I know the rear, the one shackle is just kind of hanging there, so we gotta deal with that. We'll lift it up by the body, see what happens, and see how much effort we're gonna put into it, but not very much is the plan. So yeah, we'll see you when it's up in the air. Okay, so it's up in the air. Honestly, it's not too bad. I mean, again, the front end has been gone through with all new bushings and sway bar and all sorts of stuff like that. Even has new wheel cylinders, but there's nothing there at all. The wheels are not bolted on properly. But I think I can scab some stuff off that 64 Chevy 2. I think the front brakes are the same, so I can just pull the backing plate and everything off and bolt it on here maybe. See if that'll work. That'd be pretty sweet. Otherwise, the rockers, they like to rot in there, is all good. The whole down there section looks all pretty much factory. It's got a little bit of a kind of a crude repair maybe back here, but honestly not too bad. All this is decent shape. Where the leaf spring is, the frame is actually in really nice shape. That side's a little crunchy right where that brake line goes across. I might just cut a little section out. We'll see. It might just be the shape of it, but that's that. Yeah, honestly, it's not bad. It has a whole new trunk pan that's joined all the way up and around, so that's pretty cool. The guy did the back, you can buy them. So you buy the back frame sections because they always like to rot right there. So he did that and he plated it. So it's, I don't know, it's okay. It's a DD Speed Shop weld on both sides there. This side, like I said, we got to get some bolts here or something like that. The bushings look okay, but it's just kind of hanging. So we'll get those taken care of. Everything in the back here is just kind of hanging on. So what actually happens, there's a plate, an inner structure that goes here, and then the tail pan joins to that, and then joins to the rockers, or the quarters, and the drop downs. I actually think I have another drop down. I might be able to sneak one in there if I have the right side. This is a, what's it say? R. Oh, right hand. Oh, that's good. So that's that side. Mint. So you'll sneak one of these up in here. You can probably do that. Oof, yeah, cord will be off maybe, or extend it out. But that'll go up in there. So really, other than the frame looks okay. There's a couple of spots where it's kind of ugly welded together. It's like a guy might want to clean up. Oh, this might just be undercoating I was looking at. Wheel tubs are new. Like, everything is decent. It definitely needs some fitment, which I think we'll get on. So this tail pan, I don't even know how it's held on. Looks like with baling wire. So we'll peel that off, we'll straighten it out. But it actually looks like it should fit pretty decent. And then we can adjust all this. Well, someone's already tried to make it fit. Pull that out, do a little welding, kind of go from there. These, yeah, they should join together on the sides there. So tonight the car might come a little bit further apart, but yeah, all this is just kind of held on just for show. So we'll drop down a little bit, pull that off, see if we can start fitting in, and just start kind of tacking her all together. Otherwise, the guy did a nice job. The wheel tubs look like they all will fit pretty decent. This one might need, well, it's bent. A little whack in there, and well, maybe it's this which is holding it up. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Overall, pretty solid car. Okay, so let's see if we can pop this apart and see what it kind of looks like.
You're all up to date on your tetanus?
That is one of the only shots I believe in, is tetanus. That's really just there for show. Let's see if we can get a screwdriver in there, but maybe drop this down a little. Yeah, wow. She may need just a little scotch of love. I really don't want to go overboard on this. We're just trying to make it look like a car and get it together for the next guy so he can take it, or she can take it to the next level, because that is not for me in this case. But I do understand that people need to kind of understand what can happen and what a car can look like and get the ugly stuff done. I mean, at the end of the day, I remember at one point when all of a sudden you do something like this and you're like, oh no, the car is in a million pieces. And you kind of start to panic and stuff like that. Don't fall. So I think actually the tail pan, let's just grab one. It came with one even, which is mint. Inner pan. Okay. So we should be able to kind of place this in here. This goes what way do you think? We may have to Google that. Unfortunately, we just had one of these Camaros. It kind of showed, oh, it must do that. So that would fit in like that, I think. I don't know how high this goes. Oh, it must just be in line with the bottom, so that's probably about right. So we can weld that in, then that tail pan can go on, weld in there, and while we're at it, that crunchy metal sound feels nice. We can put the other trunk drop in. This one's just, the guy, look at this, he even drilled the holes, punched all the holes, but never welded it. So we can do that, but I think the car's pretty straight. I mean, everything seems to open and close okay. I don't think, what a lot of work to give up halfway through and then sell the next guy. But I think that's what we'll do tonight. We'll get the tail pan in place and see what we kind of end up with. So Danny's gonna make a little supper. I feel like I need a supper break first. And then we'll be up here giving her until this is something. I mean, it's already something, but something cooler. And I should definitely, I'm gonna go do a little research and see how everything goes, because it's a big sandwich that has to all be kind of clamped together. And probably, oh, you know what I forgot to do is I don't have any zip discs. I am 100% out. We gotta get zip discs. Off to the store we go. After supper.
Is supper important?
Very important. All right, wow. I cleaned up the tail pan just a little bit because we're gonna be using it, obviously. So I cleaned up the leading edge because that's gonna go underneath here, and I assume I'm gonna plug weld it in that way. And then the back side here, that's where the fuel tank, support straps or mounts, wherever are gonna weld to, and on the outside is the frame rails. Pretty simple. Now, the issue is, this was kind of put together, and well, yeah, kind of put together, and it really, kind of a few steps were skipped. Now maybe the guy was just trying to make sure it was all fitting together, which is probably not bad. So I did some research on the old internet, and it would appear as though this pan goes on first, and then this is the trunk drop down. It then wraps around, and then this wraps around again. And then between here is wherever I put the nice tail pan piece. So we got to get the structure all kind of dialed. So I've got that all kind of cleaned up. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clean up a little bit of here. I'll probably drill holes. Well, not probably, I will drill holes in it. So we can plug weld through there to the tail pan. And then same thing up here. We'll, I might just have to use some self-tappers and then fill it in after. We'll see what happens. But that's the plan. There's a little bit of trimming to be done, just because this flange, it kind of really curves out, and I have to sneak it behind this panel. But maybe it won't fit okay. Maybe I'm the, no, yeah. We got a big gap there. So I got to trim that so we can pull back. The other thing I'm going to do is, these Camaros are kind of an optical illusion. The fuel fills actually off to the side. So the middle of the car will be between these two holes. Then I'll measure between these whatever the heck this is, or license plate or whatever piece, I guess. And that'll give me the center of the pan, the inner structure pan. We'll mark those in and get that kind of situated with a couple of clamps and go from there. So the first thing we do, I'm just gonna mark and zip this piece right out because we're not gonna need that. And we'll start kind of working. I'll probably do both sides. And then I have the other trunk drop down. This one has got a couple of tacks in. That one has nothing. So yeah, I'll just get everything kind of drilled and we'll come right back. So I did a few different things. I actually punched some holes in the side. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use that. A little bit of an air gap in there. I drilled some holes across the back. I punched holes in the fuel, or that, and then the frame rails, so that should be good. Now, I've marked the center of this, the center of that. We're gonna see if we can kind of get this thing somewhat lined up. Actually, basically perfect. Shocking. So, put a clamp in here. Give me a minute. Probably should have pre-tested these. I think that's how they do it on roadkill. No. It's spring-loaded. Danielle's just holding the camera.
I didn't say anything.
That's the problem. Oh, there we go. Okay, is that still centered up-ish? That's cool.
That's cool.
Oh, this one would have been meant to be. Okay, so clamp that in. I think this is actually...
Rusty metal rubbing is like itching in my teeth, my brain. I don't like it.
I'm sorry, I can't afford cars that don't have rust. It's just not currently in the budget. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now what do we got here for these? Oh yeah, that's all. You'll have to take my word for it, but it's lined up right up against there. So that's mint. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna put some self-tappers in there, but honestly, I think that's okay. And I think we're good in there. So now, oh, you know what I didn't do is grind this little section. Hang on. You'll have to turn off your ears for a second, people. Hopefully I remember to edit that sound out. So now this, oh, that's hot. So this I ground out all where it's gonna be welded on the bottom and on the back side. So this should just kind of piece it all together. Yeah. Okay, that actually fits pretty decent. This back needs to be massaged just a scotch, but that's very workable. So that's good. Let's go ahead. Where are my self-tappers? I'm gonna zing some self-tappers in here just to hold it. And I can take all the clamps off and get the everything else fitting proper. This is like professional-ish bodywork. Who'd have thought you'd be getting this at old DD Speed Shop? So I just want to do this mostly over here so I can get this pair of vice grips out. Okay. So that ain't going nowhere. We gotta figure out how to make this one fit, because it's hitting on something. It's hitting this bottom bit. So we'll go ahead and split that. Then we just give it a whack with the hammer, and this should fit. I need to buy a second grinder, so I don't have to go back and forth. D-Walt will just give me a 10% discount or something like that. We'd be doing something. Hold this. See if this will fit any better. May need a little bit more massaging. Yeah. It's close though. Oh, it hits at the top too. See, this is a panel that I had, and all the other panels are clearly bought together. So we'll have to get that kind of fit. So I'm just gonna play with this for a few minutes. Might just need a couple of kind of relief cuts and a whack over. But that's not too bad. And then I guess we can just, you know what, I'll sink one down here. We'll double check that tail pan too before we go too crazy with the welding. I am pretty confident though. Whoops. This, oh yeah, left these screws in here like a dummy. Come on. Yeah, this kind of fits like this. Come on, clamps. Look at that. So if this all works, ultimately this is kind of where we were before, except now we have this piece. And I think that should, this side obviously is a little whammoed, but down here looks okay. And then we can push this over. That's actually not a bad fitment on this side, this line right down here. Eh? So that's all loose, but I feel confident we can weld it all together. So that's that. I'm gonna play with this inner drop right quick. If we can get that fit, then we really got something that no one will ever see, but it'll be good. Then we can start fitting this to the inner quarters. So those just sandwich side by side, and we're just gonna do the same thing, weld them up. So I'll play with this a little. We'll get this trunk drop fitting a little better, and we'll be right back when we're welding her all solid. Okay, I got this piece in on this side. Yeah, it fits okay. Kind of is what it is. The quarter panel can kind of do its thing. So you got that in there. It's got the clamp on. So we're gonna go ahead and burn this thing in. Let's see what we can accomplish here. So we're just going to kind of plug it in. Ooh, smell of gross, rusty metal. Lame. I also drilled these with a drill, and I got a little zealous with the step bit. So they're bigger than they have to be. But you just kind of see what we're doing there. Yeah, not too bad. So look at that. Now this side up in here, same thing. Show you that light. We'll just get the. Now this, unfortunately, it's got a couple of tack welds in it. It's all kind of rusty, so I hit it with a wire wheel as best I could, but the weld might be a little. Oh, it's fine. And this miller just loves loves rusty steel. Same thing, I wish Miller would give me a deal on a welder. How sweet would that be? Oh yeah, this ain't going nowhere. It's kind of handy, the guy having all the holes pre-drilled. Stamped. Got one more there. Oh, that's a dirty one. So there we go. So that's kind of in there, and now we have these kind of under control. You can. Do I mangle this one? Come on, come on. So now this has got a hole in it. So all we'll do is we'll just weld that right up. And it just acts as another plug weld. I'll do this one too, actually. So, I'll just do the other side right quick, then we'll come back. Now everything's going to be kind of held from the top. I haven't welded the back side because I have to do the same thing I just did with the frame and the straps. But we can do that when we're underneath this thing. I'd like to try and get this tail pan in because this ain't going nowhere. Same thing, this inner pan where the trunk drop down is, it just goes into the side of it, so we'll plug weld that from the underside, but I might just give it a couple ugly welds just to kind of hold it. But that's that. It'll sturdy up in a hurry, so look at that.
I don't know if I actually got any of you welding because I was covering my eyes for safety.
Semi-professional welder. We want to do the rest of it real quick, maybe? We're already rolling. Let's make it happen.
For safety.
People want action. We should get you a second welding mask. Oh yeah, it just holds that dirt right in there. Ooh, this is a big... In your sweet outfit. This is probably reality. People got their old ladies out there feeding them beers, you know? Most people probably would take 6 years to finish this. And then sell it to some long-hair Canadian for pennies on the dollar. I wish I could know the story of what happened. Why this guy gave up. It's kind of a sad deal almost. Whoops. Because he did a lot of work. The welds are fine. I mean, they're for an amateur restoration. Well, as good as we're going to do it. Whoops. The only thing I think I'm going to redo is just a couple of spots on the around the frame, but that's just my own deal. I always, if someone's going to weld on a frame, I know I'm not the best welder. At least I trust mine. Someone else's, who knows, right? And then when it does break, I can only blame myself. Oh man, there's all sorts of like spiders and stuff coming out of this. It's like they don't like the heat. That was a rough start. Man, these octopus lights, I'm telling you, they're handy. Especially when you lose them. Found all three when I cleaned up the shop today. Not great. See if we can get this dialed. All right, well, let's give it a couple more plug welds. And we'll see if we can fit that, how the tail pan's gonna go on there. I might have to do a little cleaning up. I'm not really too sure what it's gonna join onto. All this I'll probably, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll clean all up in here, down here, around there. And we should be able to weld it all together. That tail pan was already dented. Okay, so we got everything all dialed. Now before everyone freaks out, I coated this with some rust converter so it should encapsulate the rust. Which I know people are already losing their minds on this, that we're putting rusty metal on it, but you know what? It is what it is. What else got going on? Oh yeah, I cleaned up the bottom side. I drilled some holes in the bottom of this tail pan. I bent it just a little bit back. I'm pretty sure on my car, or the 67, it was just like spot welded or whatever. So we're just gonna go ahead and plug weld it, and I think I'm gonna do it from this way just because it's easier to get.
What's the difference between plug welding and spot welding?
Spot welding is like it's like a special machine that goes bzzzt, bzzzt between two panels, and this is I'm drilling a hole, and you can see the the metal behind it, and we're just welding them together with making a plug out of the hole. Now I drilled holes on the side here, so same thing, we're gonna plug weld this in. I think what I'm gonna do is weld the top and the side there, and I'll leave the bottom loose so we can fit the bottom of the quarter a little bit. I think I'm just going to go ahead and steal this guy's original holes because they're probably pretty close. At least I'm thinking. Okay, it's one. Let's see. Okay. Could actually almost go back. The guy was kind of out to lunch a little. So you know what we'll do? The problem we're having now is because the car's apart and we didn't take it apart, is I don't know what is right and what is wrong. So we're just gonna kind of eyeball it. Use these clamps now. Every pair of vice grips. If you don't have every pair of vice grips out, you're probably not doing hack shop body work. Okay, so we'll line that up. So it's about in the center, which is wrong. Then we'll take this out. Let's see if we can pull this back. That's not bad. So give it a
checking out the stance. Are you gonna do Chris Pine where he changes his arm and flexes? Or not Chris Evans? You like that scene?
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
For the 3 ladies watching?
Yeah.
Where put my hammer? Here it is. Sorry. That's not bad right there. Actually lines up all right. You know, if we take this off, actually, give it a little bit. Might have made it worse. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Put the brake lights in this thing, then it'll be slick. Hold your ears. You know, that's not terrible. It's in just a little bit. Oh, actually you know what, that pan, it's got a dent in it right there. Look how much better it fits now when you take that out. Buyer beware. You're getting old junk. Okay, that's if we clamp it like that. Look at that. That's cherry, Danielle. No?
Yeah.
What the? You know what I gotta do is get more vice grips. We were just at Princess Auto yesterday. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get.
Quite good.
This has a much softer curve than this, but you know what we could probably do, actually, is get a tool and fix that up right quick. Flathead screwdriver. The tool that just keeps on giving. So that's pretty good. Now let's sink a couple of self-tappers in. How far is this? What the? This one's seen better days. I'm hoping there's barely enough metal to grab it there, unfortunately. So we're right on the cusp. Kind of not having it. See what the guy did before? He lined up this fold of the trunk into this, which is really this fold into this, which is not the case. So we're gonna end up cutting that and knocking it in, but this is good for now. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna give it a quick tack weld, because that self-tapper, I don't trust her. We'll call that self-tapper Danielle.
Hey!
One more. One more. Oh, that was a good one.
Good one.
But now, that ain't going anywhere. Actually, you could probably put it, well, you know what, I'm confident this isn't gonna go nowhere. Oops. Hang on. Okay, so I'll leave the vice grips in there, but that'll hold it. So that, now from about here down, or here up is still good, but we can still kind of play down here for some fitment. That's actually pretty good. If I don't say so myself. So now I'll play on this side a little. Do you wanna?
Yeah, you got all these boards.
Well, I can't afford a wireless welder. Where do you want to stand? I put the car back so the lighting was good, but kind of messed this up a little bit, I guess. Okay. So same deal. We get it kind of close. This actually fits a little better. A little bit better, I mean, minute amounts better. These aren't General Motors pans, obviously. This is a bit of a harder clamp. Okay. Geez, that fit nice there. Ooh-wee, that fit nice. Hey, you gotta enjoy the little things.
Absolutely you do. I'm glad you're having a winning evening. The weekend was not winning.
I have not had a lot of wins recently. Let's see if we can just kind of convince these guys to get married. Oh, yeah. So it's got to go up. But that could just be, unfortunately, the panel. This has to go down. That's really, if it's better on the side but worse on the top, I don't know what we can really do about that. Other than trying to mess with it. Actually, you know what will work good?
Just like fill it with sheet metal?
Oh, we can do lots here, but The more you kind of screw around with the fitment, the easier your life will be down the road.
Oh.
So I think we might actually. This isn't really happy. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of a hack thing here, but
You love to see it.
just gonna weld the clamp right to it. Oh, it's so rusty. Hang on. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay. So now, just might want to kind of move around a little bit too. Or maybe not. She's a little cranky this side. I'll call this Danielle the second.
Come on, man.
Okay, that's not bad.
You're about to have to deal with Danielle the first.
Where'd I put my hammer?
In the back there somewhere. You're just using it.
Found it. This is gonna be a bit of a kind of a trick here.
You need me to push something?
No. This is just the realities of junk sheet metal. Let's see if I can give this a little. See if that'll hold her in place. Sorta, kinda, sorta. It's not bad. Not bad. Don't want that to completely fall apart. Can I clamp this another way? It's just stuff where I want to be. Unfortunately, oh, maybe like that. Okay. It's gappy at the top, but I think that's kind of the way she's gonna be. We can, you know, finish that with a little bit of weld, I guess. But honestly, like this body line here lines up mint. Could go in just a hair. So that's actually good down there, but it pushed in at the top. So if we we'll work this in with the welder here. We give it just a couple of tack welds and knock it around, show it who's boss. You know, the DD Speed Shop way. Okay, that's one. Oh yeah. Okay, I think we're good there. I'm just gonna give it one little knock out. If I can get in there. This might be in the way now. And this Princess Auto clamps are just the ticket, because They're cheap enough that you don't really care about them, but they are handy. Oops. One more here. Oh, so that's not bad. Fitment wise, I think we're doing okay. It's enough we can kind of carry on. But I think what we should do next year, we have to join that together. That all kind of has to go in. Yeah. We should push this in. This is all bent, but yeah. I'm just thinking of myself here as per usual.
Let's plug in the camera while you think to yourself.
I gotta do a little bit of light body work there. Yeah, let's plug the camera in while I think about it. We'll come back and see how we're gonna finish this girl off. So, made a little bit of progress. About every pair of clamp I got is out there, but
This is like the Bricklin all over again.
so, yeah, it is like the Bricklin. So at the end of the day, we've got this thing centered up-ish in the hole. It kind of wants to be, I think, just a little bit higher, but this is how it's going to be. The bumper holes and all that line up, but there's that angle up, which I guess makes sense because this is laid back. So they're all in line. I had to kind of pry on them. This here, it's got a bit of a little whoopsie in it, but I think if we start clamping along there, it should be okay. So everything has holes drilled in it, so we can plug all that in. Same with the quarters. I got holes drilled in all those, and hopefully you can see there's metal. You can't see my glove; it's metal behind it, so that's good. We're just gonna kind of plug weld that all together. This looks really nice, actually. So I don't understand how you weld this though, because you can't get to from the back side, and like there's no real flange. So I mean, other than kind of welding it in there, but you want this body line, I believe. So I don't really understand that. I haven't figured that one out yet. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, we should probably weld the quarter on first, maybe. Oh no, there's nothing for it to go to. Just at the bottom, yeah. No, that's how it is. What a weird deal. I had the same exact problem on the other Camaro, so obviously if there's two problems with me in the same car, it's got to be the car. There's no way I'm the problem with that, right? This is a bit of a pain to get lined up. Every tool. Yeah, look at that. Look at that fitment. So let's just go ahead and kind of start welding this up. Let's see what we got going on here. Where's my mask? Over here on the table where I was never welding. If you look away, it's the same as wearing a mask.
I hope so.
Yeah, if your eyes don't burn when you're done, I think you're in the clear. Okay, so I'm gonna go right where the vice grips are because it's got the best clamp to it. Now I can take that off, move over this one. This is where, again, if you really want to be profesh, self-tapper the hell out of it, but for us lazy guys, this is basically the same thing. As far as I'm concerned. Ouch. The liquid metal is hot. Okay, now this is where it's a little, we'll just do the body work by welding it. Basically the same. Ouch, ouch! My precious arms. Whoops. So, there's nothing behind it on this hole. Well then, I guess that one's getting nothing. We'll have to drill another hole. I promise to come back and not forget that. Okay. So this is gonna, unfortunately, kind of be a pain. This crease in it's got a little bit of muscle memory in it. Let's see if we can get it there. Oh yeah, held it mint. I had the clamp right on the hole. It's turning out pretty decent. So now, what can we do on the side here? Same deal. Fill these in with some weld. Ouch. So hot. Why is it so hot, Danielle?
Science.
Is it science? Well, I'm pretty confident this is gonna be good. I mean, I'm not doing every single weld just in case this has to come apart again, which would be a pain, but over here was a bit of a disaster.
A lot of clamps.
There's a lot of clamps, yeah. This one here, we'll do a weld this. Must be what that little area is for a little weld, right? Ouch. Let's kind of cheat it there. It's not all springing back. Must mean it's pretty good, right? Right, Danielle?
Right.
Right. What do we care? Or is it going to be a greasy car flipper anyways? Okay, one more here. Okay. I'm gonna give this side just a quick if I hold that in with the hammer, I can just give it a quick what? There's a lot going on at once there. It's not quite a YouTube weld, but well, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Just being all kind of tacked together. Ultimately, it looks like a car. This needs some, oh yeah, this didn't fit before though. Okay, so that needs a little adjustment. Actually, that's good because before it was nightmare. Mm-hmm. So we can pull that out a little and it'll actually, wow. Really kind of goes to show how ugly it was. Do we have a impact real quick? We'll just adjust it. while we're here, we might as well.
You have 29% left to adjust it.
Oh God. We only need 3% here at DD Speed Shop. We're gonna hang out for a bit anyways, make sure we're not gonna burn this place to the ground. So I do kind of like it.
We don't have to do home yet, so you gotta wait.
Yeah.
You gotta wait.
But yeah, that should be perfect. It's not bad.
Yeah, it looks much nicer.
Then we can just adjust. See, the other one did the same thing, where the deck lid has more of a curve than the whatever in the car for some reason. So just nail this together. My gloves are caught in the trigger. Oops, might have mangled that adjustment. Yeah, I did. Hang on. Gloves. You know, no glove, no love. This is a bit of a hassle.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I think the hinges are low. Yeah. The deck lid fits. This is actually really nice. There. You know what? Actually, this.
Yeah, there.
Well, this has been cut, so you can see it's.
Oh yeah.
So we can actually just fix that right quick. I just need my tool. This thing's nice. It's actually a really good car. So I think that's where we're gonna leave that. The back's all together. We'll pull the wheels. And he didn't weld the wheel tub, like the inner tub, to the outer quarter. So we gotta drill some holes in there. And then this is a funny spot as well, because the panel and the rocker have to butt up like this. And it's actually welded in this spot. Is this a good diagram? Which is hard to do. If you do it from the inside, well, we can get in there. So we'll have to kind of clean that up. And yeah, there's nothing in there. It's gonna be dark. It's literally inside the structure is how you have to weld it. So we'll have to get in there, drill some holes. I mean, just clamp it here, clamp it there, and we're good. And this is just screwed in, same thing here, so we gotta do some holes in that, but that should be okay. I think he did a decent job, to be honest with you. Everything fits. I mean, the doors fit not bad, so we can do a bunch of adjusting. But that's it for tonight in this video. Please subscribe below if you wouldn't mind. DDSpeedShop.ca for all your t-shirt needs. Help Danielle out, make her smile. And yeah, I don't know how crazy we're gonna go with the bodywork. It already looks 1,000 times better. I mean, I know it probably doesn't look much different than it did, but just
Now it's a little more solid.
well, a few hours ago it was just baling wire together with 2 Phillips head screws. So if we can get in there taken care of, I think the wheel tubs and all that are good. Yeah, the guy did a nice job. We'll get in there, clean it up. I don't know if we're gonna undercoat it or what. Maybe you guys let me know in the comment section. Like, again, we're not trying to flip this thing. Well, we are trying to flip it. We're trying to be honest with it. So should I undercoat it? Should I leave it bare metal? You know, what would be the best? I mean, at this point, I think it looks kind of rough. I think the outside should be at least primered. And we go from there. Glass is coming tomorrow. Wait for the summit truck for me. And I'd like to get this all dialed so we can get the glass glued in. So then it looks like a car. And ultimately, once the glass is in, we can push it outside and it doesn't get as much weather inside of it and all that. And once the glass is in, the neighbors really don't complain as much because it kind of looks like a car. All one color, glass on, glass in, you got something. God damn, that Nova looks good out there. I'll see you tomorrow.